Time and time again, we come back to the topic of confidence. Everything begins at confidence, which is funny because we want confidence in order to initiate action. And in order to gain confidence, literally giving you the answer right now in the pitch, like in the 30 seconds of how I'm supposed to retain your view, I'm gonna give you the answer to the question. You have to act. It's the only way to generate confidence. But the fun thing about confidence is that it is a generator of value. So through pressure and generating the action, you will generate more action and generate more value through that action. Confidence, once unlocked and executed ethically, properly, is a cheat code. Truly a cheat code to mastering reality, to mastering your skills. The thing is, people are much more than they think. You are more valuable than you made yourself think that you are. You have much more to provide to the world than it seems to your mind. For example, I had to talk myself into seeing the value that I provide because I underestimated it a lot. Even with all my narcissistic Kanye statements, narcissistic, I'm just kidding, like I'm obviously very humble. I'm just joking like this. Everything that I say of how much I value myself and all of that, every time I go on a call, I always have this question in the back of my mind, am I providing what the person is expecting? Am I genuinely able to fulfill the need? I'm always questioning myself, and I think that's a good thing. It's exactly what keeps my value performing well. It's exactly what keeps it authentic and truly like, I try hard because of that doubt in the back of my head. But let me tell you, literally 90% of the time, you are way more valuable to that person than you think that you are. No one thinks like you, and if they came to you asking for something, if they are communicating with you because they see some kind of a value in you, and you shouldn't even worry about being perceived in a way that's less than what your highest version is. Anyways, lack of confidence blocks us from action. It blocks us from fulfilling our deepest desires, our goals, or whatever dreams we have. I want to go somewhere. Like you have a feeling that you want to feel at least, if it's not a clear strategy or a path, you might even just at this point know what you don't want, which is still enough. Confidence is something that you need in order to go in that direction, to build an identity that reflects that reality. Obvious, right? So you feel like you can't start doing anything before you get confident. And that's the block, because as I said, to get confident, you have to act. Because you can't get confident and then act from that confidence without confidence. Initiating confidence is as easy as forcing yourself to go on a run. It's exactly like knowing that clicking a button, you will initiate a process of a lot of algorithms working together and then initiating a chain of actions and reactions. Your subconscious is actively telling you, look, your conscious needs this action in order to deactivate the survival mode. Because your subconscious is the only aware part of you that acknowledges that your brain was designed to survive, not succeed. So it keeps you in an old frame. It keeps you not going for that run. It keeps you not making that call. It keeps you not talking to that person. It keeps you not reaching out to someone. It keeps you not posting that video. Whatever it is for you, it wants to keep you in survival. It's like we know the circumstances right now. We know all of our responses right now. And I don't want to just go over like, oh, it's safe for you. You want to be in the comfort zone. It's predictable. You're expecting me to say this. To help you better understand it, go through this process yourself. Trace back to the human history of when people were building villages with their hands, literally, taking care of the infrastructure, making sure it's safe, growing families, growing farms, plantations, in order to sustain a progressive evolution of these villages, of these communities, of these infrastructures. They had to make sure this ecosystem is protected. So their brain developed in a way that protects everything that is known and pushes innovation away. It pushes away a thought of you being confident in a version of you that acts differently, not according to the blueprints that are already imprinted in your mind, according to the history of your already validated beliefs, You have a history of actions, and if that path where you want to go, you never explored it, you just don't have the history of you winning in that field. And it's okay that you're not confident. The thing that you need to do is literally click it and initiate it. And it's not just, assume that you're confident. Literally step into it. It's all that it takes. Because as I said, you have more value than you think you do. And even if you act with confidence, worst case scenario, it doesn't actually work and your value wasn't what was expected, It will be one failure on the road to success, literally, one ticked off. You have an unknown amount of failures ahead of you, but it's one less, you know? Literally a win-win. You generate confidence by just literally generating confidence. Action initiates confidence. Nothing else will do it. You have to do it through action and just generate that history so you have it in the back of your mind. So when the next situation comes up of this sort, you already have that history of wins, even though if it was just outreach. You're like, oh, so I was confident enough to think that I have enough value, which you do, as we discussed. You have more than you have validated. You always will downplay on your value, which is a great thing. Like, imagine how much more valuable you are. It works the same way with your soul. You don't understand how huge your essence is, how just extremely valuable it is. That's why you don't appreciate it. That's why you don't take care of your body. You don't pray as much. Don't respect your time. You don't respect your energy. That's why we self-sabotage. We ruin perfectly fine ideas and make sure that they don't happen, only because we cannot grasp that the subconscious part of us, the soul part of us, the God part of us, is made to succeed. And it's the only part of us which is aware of our destiny to succeed and was not wired just to survive. The physical form of us, the mind, the conscious part, was wired to survive, not succeed. But the subconscious one, which observes it and is listening to me right now and taking notes and hopefully will be able to implement these things, knows that it was wired to win. And this confidence is so accessible just through initiating action. Dropped some game. I remember back in January when I was doing my personal trainer certification, I was finishing it. I was just like building my confidence. I remember walking into a new space, doing a completely new thing, feeling like the imposter. Literally all the gym bros, look at me. I am strong mentally. And my strength is endurance if it comes to sports, which I am actually very strong. Calisthenics is my thing. Don't underestimate me, but I will not pick up a weight. Like, this is just not what I do, as it doesn't align with my values. Okay, let's call it that. Justification just stressed me out. I'm generating value with authenticity. Okay, let's just leave it at that. It was PTSD from school, literally. Even though during school, like, everyone knows, everyone who's watching me from school, I was one of the cool kids, you could say. I was an outlier in a sense that within myself, I felt like, bro, what the fuck am I doing here? No one can grasp the things that I ponder. You don't ponder like I ponder. This is how I felt my whole life. I always felt like the outcast. But on the outside, I was confident. I was always around the people who were active. I was always leading where I could. I always wanted things to go my way because I knew I could take care of them the best. Someone was watching me and I always felt like I could be like, I'm worse. For some reason, I was like, oh, someone is judging me. And I feel like that's from primary school. That's like deep in me. That's like, it's a usual, normal, like, kids judging kids situation, which isn't anything traumatic, just normal general thing. And so when we grow up, we can tend to still carry that thinking. And I remember even in January, it unlocked. I walked into a room of people who were more prepared than me, more qualified, even though we were like starting out from zero, becoming PTs. And I walk in there and I'm like, oh, wow, I am the worst. And I had to generate confidence through it. And that whole video, I'm going to link it somewhere. I'm going to link it in the description or somewhere here, somewhere here. That whole video is about how on that course, on that program of training, a girl recognized me from YouTube. She was like, I love your videos. And can you tell me how to be confident? This was her main thing. She was struggling with insecurity and asking me about confidence. And I'm there, of course, radiating aura, looking beautiful, acting confident, talking to people. Because on the outside, when I'm not confident, you cannot tell. It's all internal. Like, I'm freaking out. I'm struggling so much inside. You will never see. I will be the most... All Fashion Week, I was insecure. I was stressing out every day. Every vlog, I'm tripping out. You just can't tell. So she's asking me that on the course, how to be confident, while I'm trying to be confident. And that unlocked something in me. I realized that I have it in me. I had it in me all the time. The only thing I have to do now is press start. That's all that's required. And it will just flow, because she saw me as confident. She saw value in me when I didn't feel it. So I have it even even when I don't feel like it. So feelings don't determine your value. Wow. Letting you know right now, because authenticity, right? This also proves the concept that situational confidence, which I also discussed in that video on the grass. It's a really cool video about confidence. Watch it somewhere in the description or somewhere here. Situational confidence comes from dopamine. So you get a quick, like, you know, she gave me situational confidence right there. She was like, you're so confident, tell me about confidence, while I wasn't confident. And that dopamine hit of validation gave me that recognition, gave me that, you know, memory. Like it helped me remember that I'm confident. That was a dopamine hit that sort of gave me that situational confidence there. But identity building confidence that will be unshakable, that will stay with you long term, that you need to build in order to shape your identity intentionally, like a sculpture. Sculpt it. Treat it like pottery. Have fun with it. This is your project. You are your greatest project. You're such an artist. You can literally, like, don't go into tattoos and all that, not needed, but you can literally paint flowers on yourself. Like, do whatever. Such an interesting project. Enjoy. Confidence is the key. Like, it's the first thing you need to paint right there. So start from there. That identity building confidence comes from data. Let me repeat everything I just said. Situational confidence comes from dopamine. Identity building confidence comes from data. So once you hit enough situations in which you have to click the button and initiate the process of actions, which are unstoppable, and you will keep generating that confidence once you start. When you run, it's easier to run once you started. It's not as hard as when you were laying in the bed forcing yourself to press start. So collect as many situational confidence moments as you can to provide you the opportunity to press start and generate it in order to build up that history and have that system of data so you can trace back to, oh, I remember when I used it and I felt like this. I remember when I talked to that new person, even though I was scared and I was confident. And the more data you have, the stronger your identity becomes. So each time it's easier to trace back to a history of wins. It's as simple as that. To generate confidence, you have to act. It will come as soon as you start doing it. Just start and it will all fall into place. Spiritually talking, you wouldn't have been given the opportunity if you weren't ready. If you weren't capable of fulfilling your dream, you would never even have that desire. Something was placed in you and keeps you in this position of wanting to reach a certain point, certain feeling, or keeps you not wanting to repeat the same cycles. This idea was placed in you for a reason and it just progresses. It simply grows the more you mute it, the more you try to neglect it, because what is real will prosper. And it does. That's why it keeps coming back no matter how much you try to ignore it. Lack of confidence is lack of knowledge. You simply don't have that data. So in order to have that data, you have to generate it by force enough times, do enough reps of that situational confidence in order to have that data, to trace back to it, to be informed. As soon as you have that moment of lack of confidence, you're like, oh, actually, I do have the data. I'm not lacking the knowledge. I am confident. The more reps you do of that process, the more unshakably confident you become.